Good day everyone. I'm going to show you some figures using the Modify tab, Line, Circle, and Polygon tab. So first, let's create a square with a width of 2 units. Zero. Okay, using this square, we're going to create a circle. The center of the circle would be the center of the square, and it has a diameter of 2 units. Okay, after that, from the center point of the circle, we're going to make a diagonal line that connects the center and the corner of this square. Using this diagonal line, we're going to create another circle with its center point at the corner of the square and its radius that is tangent with the circle. Afterwards, click the offset tool with a distance of 0.1 for both of the circle. Make sure that the offset of the circle connects like this. Trim all unnecessary lines and make a rectangular polar out of the small circle. Column must be 2, rows of 2, and between gaps of 2 units also. Lastly, trim all the overlapped part of the circles to make it looks like a loop. Okay, next figure. Make a square with a width of 2.5, then select the hatch button, or you can just type H, then enter. Select the brick with a label of ARB816 and set the angle to 135 with a brick distance of 0.028, then enter. Okay, we can now proceed with the figure 3. So as you may observe, I always search for a certain point before I start making another line or figure. It's because I wanted every figure to be aligned, or should I say, to lessen the editing or moving of each figure. Okay, going back with this figure, first, create a rectangle with a dimension of 1.2 and 0.2. Next, click the fillet button, then press R for radius of 0.1. Apply it to all the corners and then make a line from this point up to this point. Next, click the offset, distance of 0.1, and make 4 offsets of this figure. Next, make a perpendicular line from this point up to the last offset line, also on this point, okay? Afterwards, make a line using the midpoint of this figure. Trim all the lines inside the X-boxes. Then, copy this figure and rotate it for about 90 degrees and move it here. Okay, that's it. So for the fourth figure, first create a square with a width of 3 units. From this midpoint, measure a circle with a diameter of 2 units. Next, connect its circle to the bottom midpoint of the square and a line parallel to it with a distance of 1 unit. Then, connect this point to this corner. Afterwards, from the midpoint of this line, create a straight line and make a triangle from this line. Then, measure an about 0.5 units from this corner and make a tangent line from the set point down to this corner. Lastly, trim all lines that are not in the given. Okay, next figure. Let's create a box for reference. I will be creating a hexagon, but instead of using the polygon tab, I will be using the mirror and polar array. Okay, make a line from here with its length of 1.5 and angle 210. Mirror this line and use this point as its base point. Okay, next, let's create a circle from this figure. Its center would be the intersection of the 3 points of this triangular-like shape and its radius of 0.65. After that, copy these 3 figures and click the polar array, the base point, and then press enter. The array toolbar will appear here. Then the number of the items would be 3 and make sure that the number of row is 1. And and let's just erase our reference square and that's it. Let's move on with the last figure. Let's make an octagon from the polygon tab. Then press 8 for 8 sides. Then select your center point or end point. Okay, now let's create this petal-like figure. First, create a triangle from 2 consecutive points in the center. Next, we will make a bisector-like line with its length of 1 unit. Then let's connect this point to make it enclosed. Lastly, create a polar array of 8 with this figure. Change the item to 8 and that's it. Thank you guys and I hope you learned. Thank guys and I hope you learned something.